Have you ever wondered about ancient rituals? Those mysterious ceremonies performed thousands of years ago? We often see them in movies or read about them in books. They seem so distant, so strange, and perhaps even a little bit scary. We see priests in elaborate robes, hear chants in forgotten languages, and witness sacrifices that feel worlds away from our modern lives. It's easy to dismiss them as relics of a superstitious past. But what if these rituals hold more than just historical curiosity? What if they contain timeless secrets about human nature, our relationship with the divine, and the very foundations of faith and community? These ancient practices were not just empty performances, they were the heartbeat of a culture. They were the language through which people communicated with their Creator and understood their place in the universe. These rituals were a roadmap for living. They guided people through life's most profound moments: birth, death, celebration, mourning. Think about the precision involved. Every gesture, every word, every object had a specific meaning and purpose. It was a complex system designed to maintain order, create a sense of holiness, and bridge the gap between the earthly and the heavenly. The people who participated believed they were stepping into a sacred space, a moment where time itself seemed to pause. They weren't just going through the motions. They were actively engaging with forces they believed shaped their destiny. The air would be thick with incense, the sounds of prayer would fill the space, and a powerful sense of awe would fall upon everyone present. But why should we, in the 21st century, care about these ancient practices? Our world is one of science, technology, and instant information. Yet, beneath the surface of our modern lives, the same human questions persist. We still search for meaning, for connection, and for a sense of something greater than ourselves. We still grapple with ideas of right and wrong, responsibility, and the consequences of our actions. Could it be that these ancient rituals, stripped of their historical context, speak to these fundamental human needs? This is where the book of Leviticus comes in. For many, it's one of the most challenging books of the Bible, filled with detailed laws and seemingly obscure regulations. But hidden within its pages is a dramatic and powerful story. It's a story about the birth of a priesthood, the awesome presence of God, and a shocking tragedy that unfolds at the very heart of the sacred tabernacle. It's a story that forces us to confront difficult questions about obedience, reverence, and the dangerous line between the holy and the profane. What if this ancient text is not just a list of rules, but a gripping human drama with profound lessons for us today? Welcome back to Bible Stories and Chronicles channel. If you like to hear beautiful stories from Bible, please subscribe to the channel and like this video. This will be very meaningful to us. Thank you. We are about to journey back in time, to a pivotal moment in the history of the Israelites. They have been freed from slavery in Egypt and have received the 10 Commandments at Mount Sinai. God has given them a blueprint for a portable temple, the tabernacle, a place where His presence will dwell among them. Now, the time has come to put everything into practice. The theories and blueprints must become a living, breathing reality. Chapters 8, 9, and 10 of Leviticus capture this crucial transition. Imagine the scene. The entire community of Israel is gathered, watching as Moses, their leader, prepares his brother Aaron and Aaron's sons for a sacred duty. This is the very first ordination of priests. The washing, the special garments, the anointing with oil, and the complex series of sacrifices. All of it is filled with deep symbolic meaning. The people are witnessing the creation of a bridge between them and their God. Moses takes the special garments and begins to dress his brother Aaron. Each layer adds to the transformation, separating Aaron from his old self. Then, he attaches the breastpiece. When Aaron enters the holy place, he will carry the names of all the people over his heart. To the front of the turban, he attaches the golden plate, the sacred diadem, engraved with the words, "Holy to the Lord." He pours the sacred oil upon his brother's head. This act of anointing is the final seal of consecration. The focus shifts to his sons, and sacrifice becomes the key to their ordination. They must acknowledge their own sinfulness. Moses slaughters the bull. He takes blood on his finger and applies it to the horns of the altar. The final sacrifice is the ram of ordination. Their ears are consecrated to hear, their hands consecrated to serve, their feet consecrated to walk in God's ways. Then comes the final instruction. Moses commands, "You must not leave the entrance to the tent of meeting for 7 days. For 7 full days and nights they must remain at the threshold." They enter intense separation and focus, a retreat at God's doorstep. During these 7 days, they are to keep the Lord's charge. They must guard their own hearts, ensuring they do not die. This is a stark reminder of the life and death seriousness of their role. The 7 days of the sacred vigil have passed. Now the 8th day dawns, a day heavy with significance. Number 8 in biblical symbolism, a new beginning. The entire nation is gathered again, anticipation even greater. Moses declares, "For today the Lord will appear to you." An astonishing promise. The stakes are impossibly high. Aaron steps toward the altar. Before offering for the people, he must make atonement for himself. With his own atonement complete, Aaron now turns to the people and begins the sacrifices on their behalf. He performs a special action with the breasts and the right thighs. He waves them before the Lord as a wave offering, as Moses commanded. He lifts his hands toward the vast assembly, a gesture of blessing. Together they enter the tent of meeting, the most sacred space, the dwelling place of God's presence. When they emerge, they stand together and bless the people once more. And then, it happens. The glory of the Lord appeared to all the people. A fire flashes out from the presence of the Lord. It streaks across the courtyard and completely consumes the burnt offering and the fat portions still on the altar. Faced with this terrifying and glorious display of divine power, they shout. And then, as one, the entire nation falls face down on the ground. The celebration is at its peak. Aaron's 2 eldest sons, Nadab and Abihu, step forward. They each take their own censer. They place fire in them, a fire from a source other than the holy altar fire. Then they add incense on top. This is the critical detail. They offered unauthorized fire before the Lord, a fire which he had not commanded them. They were inserting their own will and their own ideas. They treated the holy as if it were common. The response from heaven is not delayed. There is no verbal warning, no second chance. It strikes Nadab and Abihu. They fall instantly. The celebration is shattered. The scene of triumph becomes shocking tragedy. In the horrifying silence that follows, Aaron is frozen.
"Among those who approach me, I will be proved holy. In the sight of all the people, I will be honored."
And Aaron remains silent. His silence is submission, acceptance of God's terrible judgment.
"Come here. Carry your cousins' bodies away from the front of the sanctuary to a place outside the camp."
They carry the bodies just as they were and take them outside the camp, removing the physical evidence of the tragedy from the holy site. With the bodies of his sons removed, Aaron stands in the courtyard with his 2 remaining sons, Eleazar and Ithamar.
"Do not let your hair become unkempt. Do not tear your clothes."
He says, "Let your relatives, the whole house of Israel, mourn, but the priests must not. Their duty as priests supersedes their role as father and brother." The Lord speaks to Aaron, establishing a permanent law. Do not drink wine or any fermented drink whenever they go into the tent of meeting, lest you die. This law demands mental and spiritual clarity to distinguish the holy and the common, the unclean and the clean. Moses, ever vigilant, discovers something that makes him angry. The goat had been completely burned up.
"Why didn't you eat the sin offering in the sanctuary area? It is most holy."
Today they sacrificed their sin offering, and yet things like this have happened to me. Would the Lord have been pleased if I had eaten the sin offering today?
When Moses heard this, his anger subsided. The Bible simply says he was satisfied. Our journey through the dramatic events of Leviticus comes to a close, but the echoes of what happened in the tabernacle courtyard continue to resonate through time. We began with the meticulous and hopeful ordination, and witnessed the sacred garments, the anointing oil, the consecrating blood, culminating in the glorious appearance of God. Then, in a shocking and terrifying instant, the entire narrative pivoted. The unauthorized fire of Nadab and Abihu serves as a stark and unforgettable lesson on the non-negotiable nature of God's holiness. It teaches that proximity to God demands a higher standard of accountability, not a greater degree of casualness. The call to distinguish between the holy and the common is a call to live with intention and awareness. It challenges us to ask, are there things in my life that I should treat as sacred? The weight of responsibility placed upon Aaron and his sons speaks directly to anyone in a position of leadership. Leadership in God's economy is not about power or privilege, but about faithful service and setting an example. Ultimately, the events of Leviticus 8 through 10 point us toward a deeper truth. It foreshadows the coming of the ultimate high priest, Jesus Christ, who was not only the perfect priest, but also the perfect sacrifice. He is the one who perfectly honored God's holiness, and through faith in him, we can now approach God not with the terror of the Israelites, but with the confidence of beloved children. The lessons of the tabernacle, in all their shocking intensity, make the grace we have received shine all the more brightly. We will continue with another beautiful story from Bible in our next video. If you have not, please subscribe to this channel to help us to grow these contents to wider audience. Thanks for watching.